Hello everyone, and it's day 45 of this Unity game development journal. So 45 days into development, and well, I did take a couple of days and really think about different things. So the one thing we did last was the pathfinding, and then getting that to work with the movement, the character movement, and the collisions, and how the maps can be developed. So there's a lot of pieces that come together early stages, right? And it's sort of going to spend more time on the map, and it seems like it's been weeks and weeks and weeks just on this map section, and nothing really has been solved. But if you look past the progress in Unity and look more towards the research and development side of things on, what has been tried, what has been learned along this way, I've learned quite a bit. So one of the issues, everything was working before, and one of the issues I thought that I was going to have was having more than one enemy chasing down a character. So the way I was doing it before, I was doing really old school tile map based collision checking and all that kind of stuff, which is fine because it really works great for the pathfinding. It's amazing for pathfinding, but it's not so good for the more realistic aspect that games have today, where if two enemies are chasing down a player, they should bump into each other and sort of fight for position through a gate, or fight for a position on the map, essentially, without overlapping. The way I had it before and the way that old games would do it, they wouldn't care about that, and the sprites for the characters would just overlap, which I thought I don't really want to do that, so I should write code to make it so that that doesn't happen. That code was going to get too big when I started thinking about how to implement it. And I thought, you know what, Unity has this built-in amazing physics engine already that I've been moving away from just for an experiment. And I think it's time that I stop that experiment and say, let's move back towards the physics engine. It utilizes the GPU. It's really a well-written engine. Almost all games on Unity use it, and pretty much every game on Unity uses it. It's an amazing tool. So why don't I just stop this experiment of trying to do the old school tile map for everything, and just use the tile map for what I want to do in 2D with the pathfinding, and then everything else with the game utilize the physics engine. So I've been rewriting the pathfinding and such to utilize the physics. And another issue you run into is that your physics engine is going to use the rigid bodies and the collision for that, which is not going to blend or not going to sync with a tile map type of collision. So I'm going to show you what I have here and sort of talk over it. This is a lot of talking and not showing. So let's go in here. So I have my typical thing, and we have our enemy. I have them set up that they're going to chase down this character, and you can see how they sort of nudge each other there. So they're just moving in sync now, but if I move far enough away, they should have a bit of randomness in their speed, so one should start separating from the other one. So we have some here. Now, I have this character, the actual main character here, not colliding with anything at all right now. I've taken all of that tile map collision away from the main character, and it's only set up for the NPC pathfinding, which is sort of the way I'm going to use it now. What this allowed me to do is really get the pathfinding algorithm to work in weird edge case scenarios. Like if the collision for the physics is not matching the tile grid, then that's going to cause huge issues. It's not going to be able to do the pathfinding to match the player position. So what I want to do is be able to take the player way off here, not slow down frame rate, because one of the issues I had before I fixed it was as soon as I went off of the collision layer, it slowed the frame rate right down because it was trying to recalculate pathfinding constantly to get to a spot on the map that it couldn't go. So it wasn't liking it. So I had to fix that bug. And then I had to make it so when you come back into play, boom, they chase you again. So it just knows, right? And you come off here, it doesn't slow down frame rate, they'll just wait for you. Now obviously in the game, the character can't go in these spots, but there are edge cases where if I'm right tight up against something, then it doesn't quite like it. So the next stage to fixing that edge case where if I'm just tight is to have the AI pick a position as close to the player as possible if it can't get to the exact location. So that's going to be the next thing to do. But I just want to show you what I'm working on. Whereas if I am not in there, it's not freezing the game. The pathfinding still knows what to do. It chases you down. I have multiple characters on at once chasing it down. Whereas before it worked with one, but it didn't work with two. Now the situation is that two bees can chase down the character and they both get out of their own way type of thing. That is a weird situation there. Where they're moving through there. I'm not too sure. I'll have to investigate that. But yeah, let's get to a spot where they can chase me down. There, okay, they're coming. Yeah, so it just seems to be working. Like the trick is to getting all these edge cases to work, because it's very easy to get them just to follow a path. That's once you have that algorithm down, that's done. It's simple. But getting them to chase you down after things go wrong, like being in this building here, they're like, wait a minute, I can't go in that building, so then they're sort of screwed. But if I get here, then you want it to come back on. So these are the things I've been working on. Again, working on this map type stuff for a long time here, but I really want to nail it down so that when I move on to the next thing, I sort of have things figured out. I don't want to jump around too much and then have to go back and change everything. So I'm putting a lot of thought in how I want to do all these things. This is the research and development phase where it's just like what works, what doesn't work, try things, see why you don't like things. It's very important to do that. Just don't follow other people's tutorials all the time, because every game is different. You got to do your own thing, right? Learn from your own mistakes, try things out, see how they work, see what works, what doesn't work, so you can actually tweak it later on and you have full understanding of your code. So that's all I'm going to do. It's a long video today. I haven't put out a video for a little bit, so been doing a lot of thinking. Back to development here. So this is what I worked on today, and we're going to start using the physics engine a lot more. So really, really cool. I should still have my weapon. Yeah, this all still works. Beautiful. So, oh, look at that. What the hell? I did not know that was working. That's weird. What the hell happened there? Because I hadn't hooked up the enemy, shouldn't have anything to do with that unless I accidentally connected that up. Very weird. Yep. Cool. Well, that's working. That's cool. So I did that week 1, so I didn't even think that was still working. I thought that was just sort of something I fooled around with week 1, but I guess it is still working. Cool. So yeah, we'll talk to you later, and have a good weekend if this is your weekend. If you're watching this video in the future, then just have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.